Hello everyone and welcome back to Derail Valley. Now this isn't your typical Derail Valley video because, well, doing some shunting as you can see on the screen, but this video isn't focusing on the shunting. It's going to be having a bit of a chat about this game and about Trains in World as well. So enjoy what's going on in the background, but don't focus too much on it. It's essentially me going around driving and doing some shunting jobs because I need to make some money. And why do I need to make some money in game? Well, the reason is because there's been a new update and I don't have the DE6 license yet. I need $200,000 in game for that. And at the end of this particular shunting job, I'm left with about 151, I think, after I've paid off fees and what have you. I'm still 50k short of that. And also I need the multiple unit one, which is another $30,000. Yeah. A bit pricey, but we need it. And the reason we need it is because the update is a DE6 slug locomotive. Now, if you're not familiar with what a slug is, essentially it's an old diesel locomotive. It took one out, and what they do is strip out the cab and the engine and everything, but you keep your traction motors in there. And so the slug is powered from the main locomotive in the consist. And another word that, or phrase you'll probably come along and come across sometimes, is a cow and calf unit. So you have the main loco coupled up to your slug, and it gives you more tractive effort and more drive to get the jobs done. So your main loco is going to use more fuel because it's having to drive the engine harder to provide more electricity to more traction motors in the unit. But overall it is a good method of doing it. And yeah, we now have it in game. Unfortunately, I don't have the license to show it off, so that's why instead you see in the background me doing some jobs to earn the license for it. So apologies for that. As soon as I can get it, we will have the DE6 video with this slug. But whilst we're on the subject of this game, I really wish they'd make stuff a bit stickier that you put on the dash. As you can see there, I have the world map and a laptop that on the dash, and randomly when I'm coupling up to other rolling stock, so when you spin the screw coupling and it pushes out, the stuff will randomly fall off the desk. I'll come back to the loco and it's on the floor. And that's making me pull my hair out a bit because I'm tired of picking them up and putting them back on there. And then when I couple up something, they're gone again. They're back on the floor. So please, devs, work on that. You know, just make it a bit more sticky. Put this stuff there for a reason. I understand that if I slam the train into something, you want stuff to go flying. Everyone wants that. You know, it's part of the realism, but at the same time, me coupling up to a vehicle shouldn't send them flying. And it is a coupling because, as you see, I just bash quite roughly into that rolling stock there. And that did nothing. The stuff stayed where it was. wasn't until you do this, couple up. And also, what's with the weird bouncing? You know, I love that we've got a sluggy in it, but if you could fix that. Hop, skip, and jump with rolling stock, that'd be cool. But anyway, moving on to the other thing that we mentioned, or I mentioned, which is TrainswithNick. And I have gone ahead and said in the past I will not buy any more TrainswithNick content, and I'm not sure if you guys want any video content on the older stuff that I do have. You know, it's been out for a while, all of it. Some of the routes I've never played. I think I've done one job on the Harlem line. I've got the... Is it San Francisco one? Peace Valley, and quite a few others, and I've never done anything with them. And I've even brought DLC rolling stock for some of them that I haven't used. So, you know. But along comes an announcement of Dovetail Direct Livestream. Now, they've changed the naming of their live streams. This is going to be an all new thing, they say. It's Dovetail Direct. And I believe it's coming up on the 22nd, so a couple of days after you watch this, hopefully. You know, maybe you're watching this a week after it comes out and the 22nd of August is already gone. I don't want to, yeah. So Dovetail Direct, and there's a lot of speculation. Train Guy 4 has talked about it in quite a lot of detail, so you know I'm going to be referring to him quite a bit in this video. So I'm going to put a link to his channel down in the description, so you can go watch his videos and get a more rounded, in-depth idea of what's going on. Now, through leaks and calculated guesses, what we've come out with is Dovetail are breaking with their biannual cycle, and TrainswithNick 4 will be coming this year, not next year, which is quite scary. And the reason it's quite scary is because we're going back down the whole Train Sim Classic, as they now call it, route of an update every year. You got to go pay for it if you want any of the new content that's going to come out after that, because it will only work on the latest version, and all your stuff that you already own from the old versions is backwards compatible, blah blah blah. So one thing I think we can be sure of is if they are releasing TrainswithNick this year, it's something to do with the new owners. I think it was March or April time. Dovetail were purchased, and scarily, yeah, if the new owners are now pushing for more content, bring more money in, that potentially means we're going to get worse content, because there'll be more bugs because the content's been rushed out and bugs are not going to get fixed, and same old from Dovetail. Now the problem is, you know, loads of people have complained about this, but they keep buying the content. So Dovetail are now at the point where they're going, well, you know, even if people don't like it, they're still going to buy it, so why should we do anything about it? You know, why should we fix stuff? Because people are still going to go and buy new stuff. They're going to moan and groan, but they're still going to buy it. They're still putting money in their pocket, so what's it matter? And so that's the scary thing to me. I would have, you know, Dreamworld here. If someone comes and buys them, I would hope that it was an enthusiast or enthusiastic company towards concept and idea of railways and would want it done to the best of its ability. No one would probably be going, right, new thing, we test, we make sure the content is right. You've got to go do this dovetail because it's our name above the door now. We don't want to be associated. But if dovetail are releasing TrainswithNick 4 now, as I say, that's worrying to me because it seems we're going the opposite way. And there has been a leak in this last week of a mastery. Let me think of the words. I do apologise. I'm having some issues with my memory. I will go into that in another video when I know more about what's going on. But yeah, so we've got a couple of PNGs. The links are now dead because the leak has been found. But the URL for these is mentioning TSW 4 in the URL, and it's 07/2023 in the link, and they're mastery for 2 routes. So we already from that can guess what the 2 new routes are going to be, or 2 of the possible 3 routes, because usually you get 3 routes with a new TrainswithNick update. So from them, the sleuths have worked out what lines are coming, and you can go find out over on TrainswithNick Guy channel what they are. I know one's the Metrolink Antelope Valley line in the US. The other one I didn't pay too much attention to because it's not a route that I would have any interest in. It's a European route and I tend to shy away from them. But anyway, one of the other things Train Guy mentioned a little while back on one of his videos was the potential, and he thought that Long Island Railroad would be getting an update, and that piqued my interest. And I was like, oh. And his suggestion was that Grand Central Terminal line would be added to the route, and that would go through to, I believe it's through to Port Washington. And he seemed quite enthusiastic about the idea and quite confident that this was something that's going to happen. I, however, say no, I don't think it will. I would love for it to happen, but Grand Central Terminal only opened beginning of this year. So it's an all new line into Grand Central Station, and the idea is that basically it controls the movement of people around the New York subway and rail network a bit better, and depending on where you work in the city and so on and so forth, whether it actually saves you any time. But there you go, that's another matter again. But the reason I say I don't think we're going to get a route extension like that is that the original Long Island Railroad route we have is based on how it was like 20 years ago. So there's lots of grade crossings as you head out to Hicksville and so on and so forth. that line is completely different now. It's all grade separated up in the air for a lot longer. So all the grade crossings are gone. Mineola station has changed vastly. It looks nothing like what you see on TrainswithNick World. And there's an additional main line through pretty much all of it. So they would have to revamp the entire route. And I'm not sure if they would go and do that. The mention was, well, it would mean that they could use the M9, which I believe is available for the Harlem line, or the M8 which is essentially the same type of multiple unit as the M9 with some small differences. So yeah, that in theory is a great idea, but if they were going to do an extension to the Long Island Railroad, I would say actually the line out to Woody Bay would be a much better proposition, because then we get diesel haulage on the line. So, and that branched off from Mineola, and at the moment it's just a little stub that you don't get to run on. The tracks go for about a quarter of a mile, if that, and if you try and walk down there it just ends the map for you, which is annoying. Rather than an invisible wall, your session's ended. So yeah, I don't think Long Island update is coming, and now this Antelope Valley line's been mentioned as well. I think that kind of puts to bed the Long Island Railroad thing, which is a shame. Anyone who's watched the channel for a while will know I'm a massive fan of the Long Island Railroad map, the TrainswithNick World. And yeah, just talking about it, I want to go and run it again now, even though I've not been on it for about a month or so. And I keep telling myself I'm going to keep running it regularly, so I can do route learning and learn the whole route, so I can do a bloodless run. And it's just not happening. I haven't got the time to do it. But yes, so that is what's coming. As I say, I think it's 7 PM UK time on the 22nd that this Dovetail direct live stream's going out. I will be watching it if I've got the time and date right. If I haven't, then I won't be. Yes, I welcome all of you to join and watch that and get the information firsthand for yourself. And in the meantime, let me know what you guys think, because it affects all us guys who are into train sims and what have you. Because unfortunately, like it or not, Dovetail is the big shark in the sea. Derail Valleys took a nice chunk out of the market, and of course Oran Trains has always been there or thereabouts, but they're never gonna realistically take on Dovetail, and right now I don't see anyone else being able to either, especially now they've got this new big backer who can throw money at them, but he's going to want money in return. So return on investment, which means bad day for all of us. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to come off that subject because I don't really have much more to say on that, and I don't want to waffle on too much more. So yeah, as soon as I know more, I will talk about it, and who knows, if anything is good enough, maybe I'll go back on what I said about ever buying more content from Dovetail. I have some in my basket, or wish list on Steam, should I say, and I did actually pick up a Humble bundle a month or so ago. I haven't used anything, and I gave a lot of it away because it was duplicates or stuff that I knew I wouldn't use. So, yeah. No, back to Derail Valley. Yeah. I mentioned previously the stuff not sticking to the dash. One other thing I have noticed that's still annoying me, and has always annoyed me, is foliage over the track. Now obviously the train doesn't push it out the way. When the train approaches it, it just goes straight through. Roaring stop, there's no hitbox on it, and it annoys the heck out of me. Please, just go along the line and do a little bit of maintenance away, a couple of bushes back, just move the offenders across a couple of feet. And again, while we're on the subject, this tunnel right here is a right pain in the derriere. It's coming as soon as it's coming off the yard, and I actually arrived here with the previous train at night time because, of course, how quick time flies in this game, day-night cycle. So I arrived in pitch black in the rain. I'd pull through. I couldn't see for the life of me where the rear of the train was, and took 3 or 4 runs at going forward enough to then hold the train to come back to wait, blah blah blah. Now, I'm not saying they should change this one, merely that, yeah, it's a bit of a pig. But this loco is an absolute delight to use. You know, it's got plenty of power. It pulled a massive long train of stock cars, and I say stock as in animal rather than the racing NASCAR or brisker Formula 1 stock cars, that sort of thing. So, yeah, cattle cars essentially, but it had pigs, it had cows and chickens, I think. So I took that job from the previous video, brought that down here in the dark, couldn't see what I was doing. But here on out, yeah. What can I say? You know, it was hard. But this job in the nice sunshine, so we don't have to worry about that. And with that said, I think this is probably a good time for me to stop rambling and bring this video to an end. So, as I say guys, any thoughts you have on Derail Valley or on Train Sim World and the potential Train Sim World 4 release in a month, that's scary. Let me know down in the comments. I would love to discuss that with you. And with that said, thank you very much for watching guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.